like, it is exactly 3:40 for me. I'm not saying I'm manic, and I shouldn't use the term this way, but it's like a manic Monday. Since I can't fucking sleep. Insomnia, am I right, motherfuckers? I really need to stop doing that. Insomnia, am I right? I've got a class in 4 hours. If you minus the 20 minutes, 4 hours, 19 minutes now. It's 3:41. I'm yawning now, but I'm not sleepy. I was sleepy earlier when I went into bed. Like 5 seconds before I hit the pillow, I was like, I'm sleepy. And I swear, I didn't like go on my phone for most of the time. I just honestly was just like sleepy. And then I was like, okay, I'm not sleepy, but I'll try to sleep and lie there for a while and daydreamed and storyboard and shit like that my brain does, especially when it's trying to sleep. I am actually really excited to see what's. I know it looks ugly. I know I look ugly with the acne, but I'm really excited to see the acne because that means the testosterone's working and I'm going to become very manly soon. But no, I didn't touch my phone or anything. Okay, maybe I touched it once or twice, but I had been good. And then it was just like, nope, you're still awake. And so, I went to Tumblr, and I guess I came across Wayward Confessions or whatnot, and I was curious. Now, I want to confess something about my confession. I've only ever made one confession ever. One. And I'm trying to see if I can find it. And this was like years ago. But I'm trying to see if I can find it and see if anyone agreed or said anything on it. I was just curious. And I've been doing this for the last, like, hour, maybe? Just another manic Monday. Wishing it was a Sunday. My gown looks ugly right there. I'm so flawed, it's perfect. At the time, I'm not trying to actually read through the confessions. Actually, I did see some. It wasn't the actual confession, but it was someone's comment on the confession, and they're like, "I don't think the cat was too happy about being hit with a marble dick," and I'm just like, "Hey, I drew that the other day." No, I said it was a stone dick instead of a marble dick. Honestly, I'm not sure anymore now. I gotta read. Did I get too loud? My mom's voice. My dad usually gets up around this time, maybe a little bit later, because he takes a train every day, every morning, all the way to another city. It's usually like a 2-hour drive, so you can imagine what kind of train line that's like. Oh, so much acne, it's perfect. I mean, I don't like seeing myself with acne all over, but it's a good sign of change. Why am I doing this? Like, I've invested too much time into it to just quit. That reminds me of the times I've ever tried getting a shiny in Pokemon, a shiny in a Pokemon game. It's like, well, I mean, I've already invested this much time and effort. I might as well just see through to the end. I got shiny ho, motherfucker. I keep saying motherfuckers. I really need to stop. I got shiny ho on my own. It was a bitch, but I was so proud. I wonder if anyone can guess what my petty ass confession was about. I'll give you a hint. It has something to do with Same choice. For a musical. Fucking judge me. Oh wait, that's not the joke I use on this channel. It's a joke I use on every channel. I'm sorry, that's even uglier. I'm gonna cut that out. In both the sense of editing and not doing it anymore. Here's an interesting question to pose for some people that actually do watch. So I'm sure if I had actual original content, that'd probably bring in people. I don't know, what would bring in people? It's not that I'm trying to get viewers or something like that. Like I said, my purpose of this was to help people in the community and stuff. But oh my god, I'm not waking the baby, am I? I'm not that loud. But no, I was thinking maybe to start reading bits and pieces of my own book. Not only M's, my own book. Which is Emily Autumn-esque. I know it's gonna be so many people like, oh, you're just copying Emily Autumn. It's so Emily Autumn. You've got Asylum and you've got The Count. It's so Emily Autumn. Okay, sorry. I'm sure most of us don't sound like that. And I say most of us because I'm supposed to be the people making fun of are the people that I am. So, hey. Yes, my Count character in my book is inspired by the Count in Emily Autumn's book. To be fair, 2 big differences, 3 big differences. 1, Emily Autumn's Count is an itty-bitty section of the book, actually. It's actually a very tiny section. And he just once again shows up later. And yes, while he plays a big role in the sense of getting Emily Autumn into the asylum and then being the captain's father, it's a tiny section. The Count in my book is the main antagonist, and he is very much into everyone's business. He's a constant. Now, 2, Emily Autumn's Count's a pedophile. My Count can't even fathom the idea of a 17-year-old. He's like, I thought I could, but at the end of the day, just no. Just too much an undeveloped, squishy human. Ew. I need to draw a picture of him now, poking its cheeks. Been like, it's so undeveloped. It's bad. It's so immature. Ew. And then 3, my Count's kind of a supernatural immortal being. And that's the differences for the Counts. Not for the Asylum. Actually, the vice opposite happens, where the Asylum's practically the entire book. The Asylum section in mine is like a very small section. Also, if you want to go with the Count thing, for the main character's attachment to the Count, well, similar to Emily with a Y in the sense that he's legal guardianship, selling, buying, whatnot. She was only there for like a night. I don't think she was even there for 24 hours, but I could be wrong. While the story literally takes place, like, the character was born and raised there, and the dynamic of who was witnessing him and blah 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 is completely different. Okay, no, the Asylum super short section isn't that big part. It's not the main concept of the book. One of the biggest differences, though, in Emily Autumn's work in this one, while yes, there are plenty of male antagonists, really fucked up males, and lots of victimized females and whatnot. The main character herself points out that it has nothing to do with their gender, that she knows and is related to bad females just as much as she is males. It's not about all the sexes, and there are good males. There are victimized males. The secondary main character is a male. Right? Tragic sweet little cinnamon roll. He's a toasty little cinnamon roll. I know I'm going to hell for that joke, but he's a toasty cinnamon roll. He's toasty because someone set him on fire when he was younger. He's a toasty cinnamon roll. I love Mordecai. And then there's her brother, who's flawed, but always meant and means well. There's also no modern concept to it in the sense that there's a counterpart. And the meaning behind it's different. Where I'm is more about the asylum treatments and stuff like that. And Shot's just like, hey, look at my freak show of a life. I suppose there are supernatural components to Emily's book in the sense of the ghosts and the rats, but I would say I'm more centered on the supernatural components in mine. Okay, I don't have talking rats. But my rat thing is more of a piper. The rat catcher of Hamilton, or whatever you want to say, kind of thing going on. And yes, there's musical instruments and violinists and whatnot. The main character's not a violinist. She actually has a big, lovely bass. I'm tiny, so it's probably, like, even bigger. Now the male lead has a violin. And so does the antagonist. Granted, blonde-haired, blue-eyed. Though, what's Emily's color? It's green, right? Her eye color is green. No, the Count is not Emily Autumn. That's not what I was implying. Why am I doing this? Seriously, why? I had to take breaks because now it's like freezing up every time I get too far. Just another manic Monday. Oh. So I'm gonna make a Kobayashi's Kobayashi's dragon maid reference. I am the new living maid. Because I honestly made a deal with my parents. Not that they asked me to do this, but I felt guilty about kind of being rent-free and stuff like that. And so I was like, you know what? How about I work room and board for rent? You know, like, I'll be the living maid. The sisters are all slobs. They can't clean up after themselves. And my mom was just complaining about how no one cleans up after themselves. And my dad complains about and I'm fucking tired of having a fucking I found it! If it fucking crashes on me now, which I was joking would probably not happen, I'm gonna be a little bit pissed. Oh, I really liked it. Not the cracker. If you want to hear it, and now put the name to the face. It's 3:55 fucking a.m. in the morning, and I'm not sitting of mine. Okay, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that kind of stuff, but still. Every time I reread the descriptions about Dr. Greavsly, my heart sinks because I cannot imagine Mark sent her as him. I hate to say it because Mark seems like he makes her very happy, but I feel like she's only gave him the role so he can have something important, but not Thompson because they wanted to keep away from the love interest situation in the book. Musical, and felt like she could just throw away Greavsly's character. I met Mark in person, so I know his physique, and hearing him in TDC is nothing like described in the book for Greavsly. It's like photoshopping an image in the center of how I imagine Greavsly to look like. I shouldn't talk with my mouth full, especially with chocolate. You guys can all shame me for being a little shit, especially after complaining that people are being slobs. Now there are 5 notes, one of those being my own like. So let's see if those are just likes, reblogs, or if someone actually said something. It's weird. I like my villain characters, and so I get really attached to villain characters. So it just kind of like disheartens me when I get attached and I have this imagery and stuff like that, and then I'm not saying Mark can't do a good villain, just that this specific villain I had this kind of imagery for. But hey, it's not my book, it's not my imagination, it's not my world. Also, looking at all these confessions and stuff like that, because I actually haven't listened the new edition, listened to the entire audiobook, and I'm just gonna close my tongue and reopen it before I try that bullshit again. I really should finish, or at least look at a thing that has the differences, in case I don't have the patience to finish it in this time in my life. In this time period. Cause I am curious, because I already know a few of the differences they've made. She made. Like, I know about the age. Apparently she left out all of the journals, like cut diary, and suicide journal, and drug diary, and blah blah blah. And I probably had those wrong. Apparently she left those out, which I get. They weren't technically part of the story of her being in the hospital and stuff like that, but they were very fascinating. And she did leave out the part that talked about her whole backstory, which, no, she's 17, it makes sense, but it makes no sense for her to be 17 and in the situation that she's in. Especially in the time period it is. They just don't do that. Not maximum security, at least. Not now. Not when this was taking place. Yeah, so I know about that. Apparently she replaces suffer with a spoon. Didn't know that. I guess that explains the song that I still haven't been good about listening to. So now I'm curious. Oh, and she also, I noticed, I don't know about if it was both twins or just Jolie Rouge's sister, not actually Jolie Rouge, but she changed the hair color. I realized when I was listening to the audio, because I was listening to the audiobook before I actually drew the drawing. The dick. She changed Jolie Rouge's sister's hair color. Maybe Jolie Rouge too, because I haven't gone to the asylum. I haven't gone to the actual story of the audiobook. I've been taking that fucking forever to do that. But I noticed that she did change her hair to blonde, which is the color of their father's hair, which it was implied in the original before the audiobook that they were related, or father and daughter. So I don't know why that was necessary, but maybe there was other reasons, like, I don't know, maybe, because also it wouldn't make sense. I'm assuming Jolie Rouge must have blonde hair too now, because if she didn't, then her hair would not be the same color as her sister's when she loses it, etc. and so on. Yeah, so that was a change I noticed. So, but yeah, now I feel like I need to listen to, and also apparently the ending might be different. So I need to listen to that too. But I want to listen to the part where Dr. Greavsly is first introduced to hear what differences she might have made for him. See if maybe she did make differences so that Mark could be him. And that he's not this big behemoth of a man with grisly hands and stuff like that. Grisly hands and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm guessing she's going to make the musical more like the audiobook at this point in time. Also, something I'm curious about, because Jolie Rouge is supposed to be German, because her dad's German, she has a German accent. Was her mother French, or did I guess the Count does show a like for French things, actually, now that I'm thinking about the Rothsberg. Or Rothsberg might be kind of more he's not German, he's Luxembourgish. Luxembourgish is the love child of French German. Jolie Rouge, de Rothsberg, de is a French. He's got a German accent. He speaks German and French. He speaks French. Mon petit, or something. Mon petit filet, something. I don't remember exactly what he fucking calls her, but he's Luxembourgish. He's not German. I'm making mountains out of my hills. I don't think this is true, but this is my theory now that he's actually not German. He's actually Luxembourgish. I'm going down with this ship. This is my headcanon now, and I poked myself in the eye, but my headcanon is that he is Luxembourgish, not actually German. And in that time period, they probably didn't know or give a shit. I'm right. Anyone saying I'm wrong is wrong. I'm right. So here's my plan, because I've got class in 4.5 hours. No matter what, even if there's no watch, no time, then you have the time somewhere else clearly in front of you, or you don't even need to know, and you're just staying like weeks or stuff. You have to look at your arm when you're talking about time. You just have to. You just can't not. Maybe it's just an ADHD thing, I don't know. I have class in 4 hours and 26 minutes now. So I'll probably just stay up. And then I'll hope I don't collapse. I'll probably take a nap when I get home. I'll be home around let's see. It takes me like a hour to half hour to walk to and from my bus stop. So my bus should be getting me back in town around 12:30. So I'll be home around 1:30. I'm a fast walker, so it generally takes me only a half hour. But if I feel like taking my time, it can take me like an hour if I really wanted to. Not usually an hour, but my fiance takes an hour. His ligaments are kind of shot. He may be tall, but he's fucked. So what do you guys think about the idea of me doing my own audio reading thingy mama bobber. I was thinking, so my book, one other big difference behind it, I mean, I guess I'll just have the different things, and it's told both by Emily and Emily for why, but mine has many different characters' points of views. That makes me so much better. No, that is not. But I was thinking if I were to do an audiobook for it one day, I would have the characters who are the ones who wrote the entries, so I would have the voice actors do the audiobook with me. I would probably do Charlotte, who's the main character. But no, I mean, I could do Lizette instead. Little Lizette. Or I could do both. I would probably have people double up. But if I don't get someone that's damn good and amazing, if it's gonna be someone that's close to me, like a friend or family, it's gotta be my fiance. My fiance has to be the count. No one can be the count unless it's a professional or Ryan. No one can be the count unless it's a professional or my fiance. And that's where I stand. I told one of my partners that because she was interested in maybe being a male character at some point, voicing a male character at some point in her life. And said, hey, you could be Mordecai. It would be interesting if I had the person who voiced Count also voice Mordecai, because they're supposed to be almost like foils to an extent, and polar opposites. No. Sadistic, luscious, vain, blonde-haired, evil person. And then we've got Mordecai, who's sweet and true and earnest and dark black hair, black long hair, and this biggest self-image issues in the fucking world person. You know, like Hunchback of Notre Dame kind of problems there. So it'd be interesting to have the same person voice them, because they're kind of foils. But I'm totally willing to offer my female partner either Mordecai or Jean Paul, or Jean Paul doesn't have any like journal entries. He only has letters. She should do all the male letters that aren't from those two main characters. But no, if I were to have someone do the same, if Mordecai and Count had the same actor, that is. But, as I was going to say, it's strange as royal say. I should do Hope. I should do every single minor character that's feminine. But I want to do a male character too eventually, because then that's trans representation on my part. I gotta do a male character. Oh, I was gonna say, whoever I do have my girlfriend, one of my girlfriend, that specific girlfriend voice, I need to have a line where she says, "Oh my," because she does a goddamn good George fucking Decay voice. And in case you're confused and don't get what I'm talking about here in this situation about like why are you letting your girlfriend do a man's voice, she's a trans woman, and she's the one who wanted to do a man's voice. Not me, like, oh, you can do a man's voice, want to do a man's voice, because I'm more about, I want to give them the roles that they deserve and that they would want. I would never, ever, like, I didn't even need to know her dead name. Like, you don't need to tell me that. I only know because I've seen her credit card and it has it on there, unfortunately, because they're, still working on some legal stuff, But, like, I never, ever, ever misgender her or anything like that. It was more of because she's got a really good range still down there. I mean, she passes very well normally, but she can still hit those notes, and she will use that comically and stuff. She made my mom lose it on Christmas, in fact. I don't think my mom ever heard her use her dead voice before, and so my mom was doing something, and then all of a sudden my mom was doing something, and all of a sudden my girlfriend started saying something, and then she did her oh my. And my mom was tying something around my girlfriend's waist, and then from behind, and then my girlfriend just suddenly feels my mom's head plunk onto her back. She's just fucking laughing too hard. Merry fucking Christmas. Have my trans poly gay ass here. It's my tail. I'm making a meme remix. It's my tail. Since I'm not driving just yet, I can't dress as peculiar as I would love to. Especially not in the city I'm going to school in. I'd feel more comfortable if I was before I moved. I like where I live right now. It's the city I go to school in that I'm like, haha, not happening. It scares me. Cities, like metropolis places, and this one isn't even technically that. It's more of like, I don't know a good comparison, because I know every state has a difference and stuff like that, so I don't know a good way to compare it. But basically, I don't like it. I like small towns. I don't like cities. I don't like downtown transits and... But yeah, I won't put myself in danger by dressing as myself. Not in a trans way. I mean, like, until I'm driving. So that I don't have to get on the bus and be harassed by people, or be waiting for the bus and get harassed by people. Because I know that will happen, especially if I'm alone. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I don't think I've ever told the story on this channel before about this time. I just didn't get that moment fucking no. So, I was at a bus stop. I had just come from a place I was applying an app. I was giving my resume to a adult store that was accepting applications. They were hiring, so I thought I would apply. And I decided I would dress nicely, like I was gonna actually be interviewed, kind of thing. So I was just relatively professional, very professional, with red lipstick. And here's the thing, I specifically mentioned I have red lipstick because I feel like because I wore it, it suddenly painted me as a target. You know, red's the harlot color. It's lush, it's seductive, it's whatever. It's also like one of the most like common lipstick colors. But no, so I was wearing a pretty shade of red lipstick. And the reason why I feel this way is because the very first thing he comments on, this guy at this bus stop, the very first thing he comments on is the color of my lipstick. He says it's a pretty shade, or a pretty shade of red that I was wearing. Red lipstick that I was wearing. And I'm not going to mention his ethnicity, but I feel like because there is a cultural difference between his culture and mine, it really does change the fact that they don't realize they're being inappropriate, or that they... And I haven't gotten to the part where it gets inappropriate yet. But they don't realize what they're doing, that what they're doing is invasive or wrong, and stuff like that, because that's how they were raised in their culture. So, I thank him, like, oh, thanks. And I don't remember first if he asked me if I had a boyfriend, or if he asked me if he could have my number first. I don't remember which one came first. Either way, it didn't stop him from asking for my number. At the time, I technically did have a boyfriend. I also had a girlfriend. But they also technically were both gender fluid, so technically they didn't count as either or. But I told him I had a girlfriend, because I figured, well, either way I'm off the market. This isn't a very, like, LGBT-friendly place, so I kind of figured that people might be a little more respectful of the fact that I'm LGBT in this area. In the area I currently live, I don't think so as much. I'm sure there'd be a guy who'd be like, oh, I can turn you straight. Like, I have a dick. Oh, I can go straight up your ass if you'd like. I can just bend you over and let you take it. Like, little bitch you are. That's my kink. If you're a guy. And that is one of my first alarms. It's 4:15 a.m. now. But yeah, so despite me saying I had a girlfriend, I told him I had a girlfriend because I thought, well, this way he'll think I'm lesbian, so he think he'll have less of a chance with me. You know, because bis don't exist in most people's minds. And I had just been identifying as lesbian before I got in this relationship, so, hey. So I told him I had a girlfriend instead of a boyfriend. And then I told him I didn't want to give him my number, that I don't give my numbers to strangers, because he asked for my number. And then he's like, okay, then maybe you should take mine. I'm like, oh, you shouldn't give your number to strangers. Oh, sweetheart, you're gonna get stalked. You're gonna get ass raped or something. Don't give your numbers to strangers. Someone's gonna come murder you. I didn't say that, of course. But for all he knows, I am a psychotic bitch that's going to fucking murder him. Don't give your numbers to strangers. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care what the other person's gender is. Don't give your numbers to strangers. Just don't do it. Please. For your own safety. And don't try forcing people to take your number or forcing people to give you theirs, because they're probably going to give you a fake one. Or you're going to give them your number and they're never going to call you back and you're just going to feel like shit. It's like, why didn't you feel like shit when they first said no? Just fucking give up. Don't be offended. Like, I'm not interested in you. You don't want my number? Okay, fine. Fuck you. Like, that's the mentality you should have. Like, why? You don't want my number? Why don't you want my number? Take my number. Take my number. What? I don't get it. They said no the first time. Why are you still invested in this? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. Could someone explain it to me? Like, you think I'm your soulmate or something? Is that why you couldn't give up? So this guy, he keeps insisting, and eventually starts talking about other things. He starts asking about my girlfriend. He asks if you see a picture of her. Like, do you need some proof that I have one? But I'm naive and polite, so I show him a picture. In fact, I show him a picture of lipstick print on her face because I kissed her. I'm not in the picture, but, you know, I put lipstick on her face. And then he asked me questions like, oh, do I like my girlfriend? Do I love my girlfriend? Do I kiss my girlfriend? Do I have sex with my girlfriend? And I'm like, okay, those are inappropriate questions, especially the last one. You don't ask people, do you have sex with your partner? No, you can. If you have that kind of relationship with that person, complete strangers that you just met at a bus stop, not okay to ask them. Unless he's trying to confirm the fact that, yes, I am indeed gay. Yes, I have sex with my partner because I am gay. Because I like vagina and pussy and vagina tits and vagina again or something. Like, and also, just to be fair, that's just because I'm sexually attracted to females doesn't mean I'm only attracted to the sexual components. I mean, all three of my partners right now have penises. One's working on it. But yeah, so my current partners, I don't mean like in the past. But I consider them just as much as woman as any other woman. The two of them. One of them's cis male. I want to clarify for those who don't know. So he just starts making me feel really uncomfortable, and it makes me feel really shitty that I'm giving him any part of myself, that I'm giving him this information, that I'm telling him and feeding this monster, and not telling him that I am uncomfortable with this, and that he's asking questions he really shouldn't be asking, and doing something he really shouldn't be doing, and I kick myself that I never told him that. I don't mean that I didn't go off on him. I'm not saying I should have yelled at him or gotten angry and want to fucking punch him or something. I'm upset that I didn't teach him that he's being inappropriate, because I feel like he didn't know how creepy he was being, how uncomfortable I was, because we weren't the only two people at this bus stop either. No one knew that's what was happening, because I didn't give off any signs of that. And he didn't give off any signs that he was aware that he was doing something wrong. And I felt like I should have taught him. That was a chance to be like, look, you gotta stop asking me these questions. You're really not okay. They are uncomfortable. You're making me uncomfortable. You're disrespecting me by not accepting the fact that I don't want to give you my number, nor do I want to take yours. You're creeping me out. I wish I had said that to him. Maybe not exactly that way, but I wish I had. And as this is happening, I am messaging my partner saying, like, I'm being totally creeped on by this guy, and I'm giving them details and stuff, and they're ready to fight him for me. And then I'm also telling my mom that this guy's kind of doing saying and inappropriately asking me out and stuff like that. And it just so happened that my parents were going to be in town, passing by that area right around that time. Right around the time my bus should be showing up, kind of thing. And so I was like, can you guys pick, and they offered to pick me up, because they realized that I'm figuring this guy's going to be on the same bus as me, and I don't want to ride on a bus with him, because he's not, I don't feel safe, I don't feel comfortable. And it's easy to, like, listen to the story and be like, well, he didn't give any signs of being dangerous or anything, but when someone just doesn't understand what no means, it does make you very anxious that they're not going to know what no means later down the road. And you also weren't in the situation, you weren't the one who felt alone. I wish someone had stood up and said something, but no one knew, because I let myself be so meek and vulnerable, and it was scary. So my parents offered, like we can pick you up, from there, we'll be there real soon. And it's like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the Taco Bell right down over there. So I end up walking away. The bus is about to arrive. Like, I see it coming, and I'm like, well, I'm not going on that bus. And I go up to the crosswalk, and as I wait for it to turn green for me to walk, I look back, and I just see him staring at me. Like, he's almost confused. Like, wait, weren't you waiting for the bus? And why aren't you still here talking to me, kind of look. And I just kind of, look away, like I also kind of wanted to make sure he wasn't following me, because that's also a big concern. And I just kind of I give him no answer, and I just walk away. He doesn't say anything either, but I'm just like, I give him nothing to read off of me. I just walk away and walk to the fast food restaurant and get picked up. And I wish I had approached that situation very differently. And I'm not saying that if I said something to him, it would have changed. It would have been an oh wow moment for him. For all I know, he was a fucking creep, and no matter what I said, he would have done it anyways. But I like to give the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to assume those kind of things of people. And this happened years ago. This is back when I lived in the other place. Like I said, it was a lot more LGBT friendly and stuff. So it kind of gives the idea that it was another place. And I really do wish that I did approach it differently, that I did say something to him, that he was doing something wrong. I wish I had told him that he was being inappropriate, because maybe I might have made a difference, and then someone else down the road wouldn't have to go through that, or have to be the one that tells him, because I know the next person's not going to tell him, more than likely. Especially, I ended up being that person in the friend group that would sit down someone. I ended up being the person in the friend group who would have to sit someone down and be like, you're being inappropriate, you're making people uncomfortable, especially female people. Usually what would happen is that they would creep on the feminine, or even if I've had a few creepy people creeping on the guys too, and it made them uncomfortable. And so, I wish in that time, I had that mentality that I did do now and didn't get later on, that I approached it differently. And I'm telling this story for two reasons, so that I do remind people to have that mentality that maybe the creep doesn't realize they're being creepy. Doesn't mean that you don't have a right to fight back if they do something. But also to remember that you shouldn't automatically assume that they are being inappropriate on purpose. Because for all I know, I don't know this guy. I don't know if this guy really would have tried something. I don't mean to be defending him. I'm not trying to defend him. I'm just saying I wish I could have given him the chance to see if he realized he was being inappropriate. And like I said, there's also a cultural difference going on there. my fiance has seen people of similar culture do that same problem where he didn't realize it was really socially inappropriate to follow. He tried flirting. He was like a manager at my fiance's old workplace, fast food, and he tried flirting with someone, this girl who was a customer, I believe, and he kind of followed her all the way to the bathroom and waited. And my fiance's like, "Oh, dude, that is so not okay," and he didn't know that. He didn't realize that, like, that was not socially appropriate, especially here in America. Um, and so when he, just kind of sat him down, like, "Okay, dude, you can't do that again." He was like, "Oh, my bad. I didn't realize." And I kind of think it might have been that situation. I didn't want to. I'm not saying fly off the handle. I'm saying educate and calmly teach, even if they don't deserve that. It still is better than being the raging bitch, right? I'm not saying you don't have a right to fight. I'm not saying that. But also, if you want to make this into a sex thing, we should kill people with compassion. We shouldn't do the male aggressive thing. We need more male superheroes who are compassionate, and less female superheroes who are fucking aggressive, badass, manly. They dress like a woman, they're seen as a sex object, but they're still expected to act like men. And that's the problem, is that we need more people who are compassionate. Like, for a real person, for example, that got a movie made off him, Desmond Doss was a fucking pacifist. And yes, religion was his reason, but that still didn't stop him from being the most compassionate person on the fucking battlefield in his time. But my other thing was just kind of to share a story of being kind of low-key sexually harassed. I don't know if you would consider that being sexually harassed, but to a certain extent, when you start asking someone if they have sex with their partner, a complete and utter stranger, and you don't respond to the first denial with acceptance of that denial, then I would consider that a form of sexual harassment. So I wanted to share it for those two reasons, that it was both a kind of low-key sexual harassment story as well as a reaching out to kind of remember to educate those, to remind the females that there's another way to approach a situation, or males. I know some males that get into situations like this too. But to remind the victim that there's another way to approach it than just automatically flying off the handle. And then if someone who is someone like this, watching this, which I doubt, but I hope you do see this at some point, or someone shows this to you, you gotta realize that when someone says no the first time, they're not playing hard to get. Especially when they tell you there's a special other involved. When they say they have a partner, they're generally, even if it's a lie, and if they're lying about having a partner, that's definitely a huge red flag that they don't want anything to do with you. Because I saw a video that same day of some guy shaming a girl for lying about having a boyfriend so she didn't have to talk to him. And he goes off on her. I'm like, she told you that so you wouldn't talk to her. You should, instead of just being butthurt about it, you should take as just like a big thing that she did not feel comfortable around you. That she had to make up someone she'd rather be around than you. Because you're not providing a safe environment for her. So, come on, think of it this way. Get offended. Don't get hasty or thinking, oh, she's playing hard to get. Be like, oh, you're not interested? Okay, then never mind. Just walk away. Really, just walk away. Why press? I don't get it. Like, someone's not interested in me, then fine. Whatever, wasn't meant to be. Next person, come on. Like, I remember I got a Tinder message one time for this girl. Messaged me, you was ugly, but your boyfriend can get it. Just fucking moved on. Why did you match with me on Tinder if you were just gonna say I was ugly? Just, there's no point. Well, that is my lovely rant for the evening. Morning. It's 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 4:30. It's morning. Just another manic Monday. I wish it was. It was a really weird reaction. It was like almost hitting the funny bone of my knee, but at the same time, not really. Like, it felt like I should have. My legs kind of still sore, and then I like almost triggered a burp in my throat. It was just like all at one time. I was just like, what?